All right, welcome to One Nation of Sports Soccer Magazine Extra. I'm your host, Kirk DeMars, and thank you for joining us on this Monday, August the 12th, 2024. Time just flies by. We're going to be talking to outstanding student athlete Avery Wells of the Eldon Mustangs tonight, and I'm excited about this interview. It's kind of funny is that today is a rainy day, and it brought me back to when we were there doing the photo shoots with Avery, getting her picture for the magazine, and it was a rainy day, so we had to adjust things a little bit and had to shoot everything inside. You saw one of the photos at the beginning of the video that showed her as we were doing her photo shoot. I'm just going to say what my part in all of that is I held the flash and making sure I was like the human tripod. And my daughter, Katie, who's a photographer for Sports Soccer, she does a great job as far as creativity. And of course, it always works really well to have fun subjects like Avery. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and bring Avery on in, and we're going to talk to her a little bit about her article in Sports Soccer Magazine and what's next for her. Hi, Avery. How you
Hi,
doing?
Kirk. Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. You've had a little bit of a busy day, haven't you?
Yeah, very busy.
Yeah, traveling around a little bit,
Yep.
trying
Went
to
on
figure out.
another college visit today, trying to
Yeah.
figure out where I'm gonna go to school.
All right. Very good. I was sharing a little bit about on the day that we did your photo shoot. It was raining outside. There's no way we could go outside and take the photos, but
No,
you were a
they
trooper
all
and you did a
still
good
turned
job.
out so good. Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. Well, let's talk a little bit about your article in the magazine tonight, but first let's ask you about your family. You said that they played a significant role in your life, and can you first tell us about them and just about each of the family members and what they mean to you?
Yeah, so I'll start out with my mom and dad. It means so much to me for them to be able to come out on the course and watch me. And it just makes me feel so good how I have someone to watch me out there, and it just means a lot.
So, do you hear them? I mean, are they like hollering out so you can hear them? Or I guess you're supposed to be quiet on the golf course, but are there different times that you say, "Okay, I hear them"?
Yeah, so they have always been like my biggest supporters, and after like a really good shot, or yeah, just a good shot in general, they always tell me like that's a good shot, or every time like I look at them, they always give me a thumbs up, and it just like makes me happy to see that. And even if I have a bad hole, they just always tell me to continue to grind, and so that just makes me work harder. And yeah, I just want to show them, like, I just want to make them proud. And
Mhm.
so it's just always so nice to have them right next to me.
Yeah, very good. Well, what kind of characteristics have you picked up from each of them? From your mom, and then what characteristics have you picked up from your dad?
Well, they are both very hard workers, so I feel like I've definitely picked up that, and they're very smart people. So I feel like I got both of those characteristics from them. So
Okay,
it's very
okay,
good. Yeah.
yeah. Uh, Tell us about your siblings.
Yeah, so my big brother Aiden, he plays college golf, and so he's been playing golf ever since he was little. So I've always watched him, and he has been a big like inspiration. And so that's just kind of how I started playing golf, and I've always watched him. And so we play with each other all the time, and I just learned so much from him. And I love spending so much time with them. So it's just
Yeah,
I love it how we both can share like the our passion for golf together.
yeah. Now he's playing golf at college now. Is that correct?
Yes, he plays at Rockhurst University in Kansas City.
Okay, very good. Um,
Yeah.
we won't ask how your scores compare to his, but I mean, do you ever get any bragging rights?
Um, Usually not. I mean, like, well, like I've had my first hole in one. I've
Hmm.
had that before him, and also he's never holed out.
Uh-huh.
So I've got to like talk about that in front of him, and it just makes me like laugh.
Yeah, that's great. You do have something you say you got the first hole in one before him, so that's
Yeah.
something that you can always brag about.
Yes, something I
All
always
right.
can brag about too.
All right, we've got Patty Barnard McFeeters joining us tonight. Patty has been a longtime viewer of the program, and Patty, thank you for joining us. It's always great to have you on here. I want to mention that if anybody wants to make any comments or if you have questions for Avery, feel free to put them in here tonight, and we'll have a little bit of interaction. And hopefully, hopefully, she'll want to answer your questions. I mean, that's a possibility. I
Yep.
know sometimes family will say some things that I don't know if we want to answer, but that's good.
Yeah.
Uh, you talked about your brother Aiden and your grandpa being very inspirational to your golfing. Why don't you explain a little bit about that and um, what that's meant to you?
Yeah, so I've already talked about Aiden, so I'm going to talk about my grandpa now. And he's been playing golf basically his whole life, and he played college golf at Mizzou, and he's 80 now and still plays golf. So it's just like it's very inspirational. And recently we've just played in the Father's Day tournament, and so it just means a lot to me how we got to spend those two special days together to still be able to play together.
That's great. And 80 years old and still playing, that's a
Yeah.
wonderful thing. That's good. Helps keep him
Yeah.
young, that's for sure. Okay, so yes, you were featured in Sports Soccer Magazine, and there you are. And again, we were inside, but that's a cool shot. And
Yes.
um, it's quite. I would say it's quite a big deal when the we ask the schools who are the student athletes that you want to feature, and we basically do the photo shoots three at a time, three issues at a time. And so we're able to have six student athletes a year from each of the schools, and um, they're pretty particular, and they're very, um, I guess you would say, they're wanting to make sure that they have the best representation for the schools. And so I think that speaks a lot of you from the staff at Eldon. And uh,
Yeah.
what's what's it mean to you being in the magazine and with them selecting you?
It's just an honor to be able to represent the Eldon Mustangs. And there are so many great athletes in Eldon, so it just really means a lot that they chose me to be able to represent our school and the sport of golf.
Yeah, it's you guys. I mean, you've had quite a bit of success. We're going to talk about that here in a little bit, but I want to talk about
Yeah.
what you were doing before you started golf, and you did a lot of dancing, from what I understand. Why don't you talk to us about that?
Yeah, so I started dancing when I was 3 years old, and I started competing a couple years later. So I've basically been doing dance my whole life. And I had two knee surgeries, one my eighth grade year and one my freshman year. And so after that, I kind of started like not dancing anymore. And I like realized the sport of golf. So I tried that, and now I just spend all of my time on golf.
Well, we talked about that a little bit before we came on the program about the knee rehabilitation that you needed, physical therapy, and you went to Jessica Beckman at Peak Sport and Spine there in Eldon. Why don't you talk a little bit about the process of getting your knees back in condition?
Yeah, so it was a very long process. It was about a 6 to 8 month recovery for each leg. And so for a while, I had to be on crutches and wear a straight leg brace. And so, like, every week, we'd have to bend my knee each more, or like, yeah, more times. And so it was just a very long process, and I had to work extra hard to get back to where I was at golf. For a while, I worked on short game, which has impacted my golf game a lot, but that was the only thing I could do because I couldn't take a full swing. So I just had to work extra hard to catch up on all the golf I've missed.
That is pretty, I mean, because you were probably really wanting to jump back in and get back in it, but you knew you had to be
Yeah, I
careful.
couldn't. Yeah.
All right. you had to listen to doctor's orders and make sure you
I
did it.
did.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
Um, Tell us a little bit about what your golf career has looked like since you got started in your freshman year. Just go through the different years and what's it look like?
Yeah, so before my freshman year, I started playing in the Missouri Junior Tour events. And then, so after summer golf, it goes straight into high school golf. So basically, that's just been on a cycle. But recently, I've started doing 2-day tournaments that the Missouri Golf Association produces. And those are more college yardages. So that will help me get prepared for my college season. Very helpful.
Good. Why don't you tell our viewers, for some of those that maybe don't golf, why don't you tell them the difference between the tee boxes?
Yeah, so for high school golf, we play the Reds, which is they're pretty short distances. I couldn't tell you like the exact yardage because all of them are different.
Right.
But for summer golf, I play the white tees. So depending on the course, that could either be just a tee box back or even two. So
Hmm.
there's like a big difference in some of those yardages.
Okay. Well, you mentioned it just a little bit ago, but you have hit a hole in one, and also you've scored a two on a par four. Why don't you tell us about those, and then have you come close at other times?
Yeah, so me and my buddies were playing at Osage National, and it was on the Riverside, hole number 4, and it was I think about like a 130-yard par 3. So I hit my 8 iron, and if you know Osage National, this hole, there's a little ledge in front of the hole where the pin was placed, and so I knew my shot was like right at the pin, but I couldn't see it roll out. But when we got up there, my divot was near the hole, but there was no ball on the green. So we all just got so excited that it was in there. And then for my eagle, I was playing at state, and it was hole number 2 at Twin Hills in Joplin. And I hit this a really solid drive. And I think I had about maybe 135ish yards in. So it
Hmm.
was my 8 iron again. And it was right at the pin, and it just rolled on in there. And that kind of got me started for the rest of the day. So
Yeah.
it was just amazing to see that.
You know what would happen if I had something like that? If I hit a shot like that and it went in, and this is obviously it would be accidentally that that happened, but if it went in, I would do horrible on the next hole.
Oh
I,
my gosh.
I,
It was
I
definitely a confidence booster because I don't think I did very good on the first hole, but I mean, after making it two, my round
yeah,
just got better.
yeah.
And then actually recently at Eldon, hole number 17, it's a shorter par 3. I think it was about 120 yards, and I hit a 9 iron, and it was like 2 inches away from the hole. So I was like, oh my gosh, it was right at it.
Yeah, that's
It was
just
so
kind of want
cool.
to go and just kind of tap the ground a little bit and see if it'll roll in, right?
Yes, it was hanging right on the edge.
Wow, that's good. Uh, Speaking at at the Eldon Country Club, I just want to say thanks to them for all the years that they've been sponsoring um,
Yes.
the article, as well as Citizens Bank and Eldon Furniture. They've been sponsors along with Lloyd Belt Automotive and Peak Sport and Spine. I appreciate them because they help bring these great stories like yours, and so we're just thankful for them. All
Yeah.
right. Okay, a lot of people have different reasons. I'm going to hold it up here again. Hopefully, it's always hard because you got to do the opposite here. But I'm going to hold that up there. Your golf club cover. Why don't you tell us about what that is and why you chose that?
Yeah, so my driver cover is a gray wolf, and I got that when I first started playing. I think I've even had that like on my last set of clubs, but I feel like if I would change it now, it would just be bad luck.
Okay. Have you ever had to wash it?
No, I've
Okay.
never washed it.
Okay. So yes, you are really going for it all. You don't want to wash it. You don't want to change it out. Okay.
Nope.
I got you.
Yes.
All right. Tell us about participating in the Missouri Golf Association, U.S. Kids Golf, and Gateway Junior Golf. What are those organizations and how have they helped you to become a better player?
Yeah, so I'll start out with US Kids Golf. US Kids Golf is an organization based out of Kansas City, and I think it's a good way to start out my spring season because you get to have a caddy, and usually my brother Aiden or my dad caddies for me, and I just think it's a fun tournament. And then we have Gateway, which is an organization based out of St. Louis. So I travel to multiple courses in St. Louis or even Illinois. And those tournaments are more college yardage. So I just think they're very helpful too for my future golf. And then we have Missouri Golf Association, and they also put on the Missouri Junior Tours. And like I said before, those ones are kind of more like high school yardage. And then the 2 day tournaments are more college yardage. And
Okay.
also, they're based out of Jeff City.
Yeah.
So they're mainly tournaments all over Missouri.
Yeah. What's the funnest course you've ever played on?
Um, I I like River Cut. I mean, River Cut was pretty fun. It was really pretty, that just
Hmm.
the river and like it was really pretty and the course layout was really nice.
Yeah. Where's that located at?
Springfield.
Springfield. Okay. Yeah, you do
Yeah.
travel all over the place, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Anywhere
It's
in the
kind of
world
hard
that,
to remember at all the courses I've played
yeah,
at.
but if there's anywhere in the world you would like to go and play a round of golf, where would that be and why?
Um, Probably Augusta. I've seen it on like TV. Like I just feel like it'd be really nice to play. Or Paynes Valley. Like I
Uh-huh.
love that par 3, that green. I think it's an island green. That'd
Uh-huh.
be really fun to play on.
Yeah, unless you hit it in the water, right?
Yeah, yeah, unless you hit it in the water.
That's where I would live, in the water. Just get me the scuba gear. All
Yep.
right. Avery, you've done great. We're going to take a quick sponsor break and we will be right back to get into the second part of the interview and then possibly do a speed round where we just ask some fun questions. And of course, you don't know what those are because I didn't give you them,
Nope.
but don't hang up on me, okay?
I won't.
All right. We'll be right back in just a second.
CNS Business Services has been connecting employees with employers since 1977. Recently, CNS rebranded to CNS Employment Solutions to more clearly define their mission of serving the needs of applicants, employees, and businesses while remaining current and evolving with the changes in the workforce. One important thing has not changed. CNS Employment Solutions partners with a wide variety of employers, placing employees in jobs that match their skills and needs.
Say yes to CNS.
All right, CNS Employment Solutions, they've been a longtime sponsor with Sports Locker Magazine, and they have been with us from the very beginning on One Nation of Sports Locker Magazine Extra. We have One Nation Sports Locker Magazine Extra so that we can dig in a little bit deeper and find out a little bit more information about the student athletes that we feature in the magazine, as well as we have some different opportunities that we're able to have interviews. We've had Ozzie Smith, Neil Smith of the Chiefs. We've had Kimball Anders of the Chiefs. We had uh, Sarah and Izzy Libert. Both of those play soccer. Um, Sarah plays internationally, so it's a lot of fun. But I have the most fun when I get to interview our student athletes, like we have Avery on tonight. And again, CNS Employment Solutions, everything that they do as far as bringing this content to you, we thank them for that, as well as we have Big Whiskeys. They also feature our Coach of the Issue, and we know how important coaches are. And for this particular issue in the July August, we had Coach Danielle Lukenhoff of Blair Oaks. And as I'm sure Avery would tell you, coaches are very important and they put in a lot of time. They make the effort every day to plan out what they're going to do as far as the training and coaching of the student athletes. They a lot of times are putting together schedules. They are so busy and it takes away from their time as well as their family time. So we just appreciate everything that they do and Big Whiskeys for making sure that we feature them in the magazine. So just again, shout out to them and CNS Employment Solutions. But right now, we're going to get back to our interview with Avery Wells and ask her some more questions. Avery, you've done a great job,
Thanks.
and you're still here, so that's good. You
I
didn't hang
am
up and
still
leave.
here. Nope.
That's awesome. Good. You mentioned about in your article, you mentioned about your swing coach, Shane Blankenship, and how he's helped you with your mechanics. What types of instruction and adjustments do you feel have really helped improve your game?
Yeah, so I've been going to Shane since my junior year, and we've been working on not only my mechanics, but also the mental side of golf and course management. And I feel like he has just really tightened up my swing, and I am able to compress the ball better and produce more accurate shots. He also has these 9-hole playing lessons that are very helpful, which mainly focuses on more of the course management and like the different lines to pick. And I just think he has impacted my golf game a lot. And like I'm very like grateful for that. And I just think I'm a better, stronger golfer than I have ever been.
Well, you have a lot of people that are helping you and that are there supporting you, and so that's good. And obviously, with you starting golf when you were a freshman and to where you've progressed now, that's quite amazing. So, it sounds
Thank
like you
you.
are a very good learner,
I
and
try to be.
you're probably pretty competitive too, I would guess.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love the competitive side of the sport.
yeah, good. What's your favorite club and why, as far as golf
Okay,
clubs?
so it just really depends on the day.
Uh-huh.
So sometimes my driver, so like if I'm hitting a bunch of fairways, then that'll be my favorite club of the day.
Uh-huh.
But if that's not working out, then usually it's like my mid irons and I'll hit a
Mhm.
bunch of greens. But when I can really play a good round, like both of those will be working for me.
Yeah, good. I don't know which club works best for me. I don't know.
I
Maybe the
wish my
putt.
putter worked better.
I do pretty good with that, and I do pretty good with the pitching wedge. Driver, I'm usually slicing over to another fairway or something. That's not too
Oh,
good.
that happens all the time.
Okay, well, good. I don't feel so bad now. Oh, let's see. Share with us about your accomplishments in golf. Talk about being all conference, all district, and securing a spot as a state medalist your sophomore and junior years. Why don't you tell us about those?
Yeah, so my freshman, sophomore, and junior year, I was all conference and all districts, and then also state qualifiers. So my freshman year, we also won districts as a team, and then I placed 24th at state my freshman year. So definitely did not have the best rounds. And then my sophomore year, I placed 15th, and then my junior year, I placed 5th at state. So that was definitely a big improvement.
Well, you say that it wasn't very good, but to place 24th as a freshman, I mean, that's pretty awesome. I mean, again, you hadn't been
Yeah.
playing for very long, and
Yeah,
then to
that's true.
progress each
It
year.
definitely wasn't the outcome I wanted, but yeah, for as long as I was playing, I was pretty proud of it.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure others have told you good job as well, but that's pretty
Yeah.
impressive to be doing what you're doing at starting the game at such a late. I say late time in life. Here, I'm 58 years old, so a lot of stuff seems late in life. I don't know.
Kind of late for me.
Yeah, kind of late for you. Oh,
Kind
by
of.
the way, speaking of kind of late for you, speaking of age, happy early birthday. It's coming up in a couple days,
Oh,
right?
thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
You're going to be a little bit closer to your brother's age for just a little bit, right?
Yep, just a little bit.
You feel like you'll be able to tell him anything that he should do for you to celebrate your birthday, anything that you want to shout out right now?
Um, I don't think so.
Buy you something, I mean, ice cream, whatever.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Yeah. All right, good. What are your goals for the 2024 golf season individually and as a team?
Individually, I would like to win, I mean, conference and districts. And then I like as individually also like last year I placed fifth at state and those weren't my best rounds, but if I continue to grind and work very hard, I believe I could win state this year. There's so many good golfers, but I just have to continue to work hard. And then as a team, we're gaining some new players and they will really have an impact on the team. So I'm hoping we can pull a first at conference and districts and then qualify for state as a team and then hopefully win state too. That would be great.
That would be a great way to go out, wouldn't it?
It would be really good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's 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 a definite goal, and it sounds like it's pretty achievable. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna be rooting for you. So
Thank
um,
you.
something else that you work hard at is your education. You have a 4.3 grade point average, and you're also top five
Yeah.
in your class. Talk about your academic achievements and what you're working towards as you get ready for the next phase in your life.
Yeah. So with the 4.3 GPA, I've received summa cum laude for the last 3 years. And I'm also involved in National Honor Society and National English Honor Society. And I'm a very hard worker, and I have hopes to be in med school one day.
That means that again, you are constantly doing a lot of hard work trying to get
Yeah.
into med school. So, all right. Well, I think you're gonna, again, I think you're gonna do well just because that work ethic that you've picked up from your mom and dad and that you've carried on, and you're gonna continue to try to strive to be the best that you can be. I wish you well and all that.
Thank you.
Um, so, what did you really enjoy about dance when you did that? I mean, I know you don't do that anymore, but what did you enjoy about it?
Um, well, dance is mainly about like expressing yourself, and I feel like you're not judged or other people judging you. And I just loved seeing all of my dance friends. It was like a very special moment to share with everyone.
Do you have a lot of your friends in school that have come up, and I mean, you still remain pretty close to all of them throughout all these years?
Mostly all of my like dance friends are from the lake area,
Okay,
so I don't
okay,
see them. Yeah, I don't see them as much, but when I have the chance, I would love to see them because they were
yeah,
all great.
oh, good.
And I definitely miss them because I have not been to dance in a while.
Yeah, that some stuff we that's a part of our life, and then we move on to the next season, and then obviously with what you're doing now, it's a part of your life, and then you're going to move on into the next season, and you
Yeah,
won't be seeing a lot of those people on in the future either. So,
yeah.
what would you say to all the people, fans, supporters who've helped you during your time at Eldon, and what are you wanting to leave behind as your legacy?
Yeah, so coming from a small community, all of these supporters, it just means a lot and they're really good about supporting and just like sharing what we've accomplished. And the legacy that I want to leave behind is that it's never too late to start anything
Mhm.
because I started golf late, but like I said, like if you just work hard, you can definitely succeed. And it would also just be nice to see more girl golfers in this area. And it is definitely something you can do when you're older. It's
Mhm.
just a great sport.
Yeah, and how many team members do you typically have on the team?
For the last 3 years, we only had a varsity team, so we only had five. But this year, we've gained a lot more, and I think we have nine this year.
Hmm.
So definitely, we have our JV, but it'll
Yeah,
definitely be good. Like I'm so glad many girls have joined.
yeah, and I think that's good because talking about legacy, I think, I mean, you may not recognize this or whatever, but through the successes that you've had, some of these younger student athletes, they're watching, and they look probably are looking up to you as a role model and say, I would like to try that out and to be a part of that. So you're already leaving a legacy.
Yeah.
We already know that. So I'll just I'll build your ego up. Let me do it.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Hey, what have you enjoyed about going to school at Eldon?
Um, I love all of the teachers and staff, and then just all of my friends. Like, I just enjoy seeing them every day.
It was a pleasant surprise for me one time when in there. I know one of the guys from maintenance. I knew him from year for many years. Seth Tillinghast. He had been at a part of the youth group at our church here in Jefferson City, and I walked in one day and there he was working. I said, "What are you doing here?"
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it was pretty cool. So if you happen to see Seth in the hallway, tell him Kirk said hi, and he'll
I will.
and he'll
I
give
will
you
do that.
he'll give you a puzzled look like what? All right. Okay, we've jumped through everything. Before we get into the speed round, I want to ask, is there any other thing that you would like to say to your parents for all the things that they've done?
Well, I'm just super grateful for them and just all the opportunities they have given me. And like I said, like when they take off of work for me, it just means a lot for them to be there. So I'm just super thankful.
Okay, good job. All right, speed round. Here we go. After you're done playing a golf match or practicing, what is your favorite go-to meal or snack?
Um, I definitely love coming home to eating like goldfish, or if I'm like super hungry, like I usually make this like specific sandwich.
Okay, very goldfish. All right. Do you carry like a little container around with you anywhere?
Um, no. I mean, if I bring it to my tournaments, it's usually just like in a little baggie.
Okay. Okay. Did you ever see the movie Napoleon Dynamite?
Actually, no, I have not.
Okay, so he carried tater tots in his pocket. So yeah,
Oh,
it was kind of gross. So
that's
I'm
so
glad you chose
interesting.
goldfish because they won't.
And not tater tots.
Yeah, I did. That was pretty funny. Um, what is what would you say is the chore that you dislike doing the most around the house?
Um, Probably like vacuuming or doing the dishes.
Vacuuming.
I don't,
Okay.
well, I don't like putting away the dishes.
Now, what are your reasoning for doing that? I've heard lots of different ones, but I want to hear what you say about why you don't like to put away the dishes.
I don't know. I just think it's a lot of work sometimes.
Okay. All right. I've had different things that, some people say it's disgusting, and I'm like, well,
Yeah,
you
it is
ate.
kind of disgusting too.
I was like, well, you ate the food off of the plate, so what do you think,
I
huh?
mean that's true. I mean, at least it's clean dishes.
Yeah. Dishwasher, or do you have to wash them by hand?
Dishwasher. I mean, so
Okay.
they're clean, but when you have all those like utensils, like just to put away, I don't know,
Yeah.
something
It
about it.
it just takes forever, and you're like, okay, I'm ready to move on to the next thing.
Yep.
All right.
Next.
Good. Any place in the world that you could go, where would that be and why?
Um, Probably the Caribbeans. I don't know. I just the water looks so pretty. Or somewhere tropical. I
Yeah.
mean, no rain.
No rain. Well, that's not happening in mid-Missouri. I mean, that's happening right here, right now. So, uh,
Yeah,
what's
I
the
know.
what's your favorite vacation or trip that you've ever gone on?
Um, Definitely Mexico. I mean, I've been to Florida a couple of times, but Mexico, it was just so pretty,
Hmm.
and the
Good.
beach was so nice, and the weather.
Okay. This is a coaching question. What is the one thing that your coach says over and over and over and over again that just tries to drive it home?
Um, Probably, I don't know, just to always like keep my head up. I don't know, like my swing. Sometimes I have a tendency to drop down a little bit, so just over and over, like I have to hear to keep my head up. And we do so many like drills. Sometimes I just can't get it, so I just hear it over and over.
All right. Well, obviously you are getting it because you're doing so well that it's those little things that coaches have to do to try to push us further to go and be the best that we can be. So, well,
Yeah.
Avery, you have made it through, and thank you for
I
joining me
have.
tonight. Yeah, you did a great
Thank
job.
you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely. Hopefully, we'll be able to catch up again and just see how things are going after you've completed this year in golf, and just kind of maybe see where you ended up deciding to go and find out a little bit more.
Yeah.
Okay, does
Yeah.
that sound good? All right, I'm going to have you hold
Yeah.
on for just a moment, and while I close out the program, but if you want to say goodbye to everyone, we'll do that, and I'll see you right after we're done.
Okay.
All right, we have had Avery Wells on the program tonight. Thank you guys so much for joining us. What an outstanding student athlete that they have down there in Eldon. She is a great role model for future and current Mustangs. And so, yes, girls, look to Avery, see the success that she's had, and if you will follow that model, you will do quite well. So, thank you guys again for joining us tonight on One Nation of Sports Locker Magazine Extra. I'm your host, Kirk DeMars, and I hope to see you next week. God bless you, and we'll see you then.